Liverpool will break the British transfer record again in a double £214 million swoop if Núñez can be sold. I'm hearing that Liverpool has apparently made a promise to Mark Guehi, and now the player is determined to join the club, the journalist revealed. Barcelona has not ruled out the Liverpool winger amid uncertainty over Nico Williams. Welcome, fellow Reds supporter. Come and check out the latest updates from the greatest club in the world. Attention Reds fans, Liverpool's summer activity is heating up, and the news is enough to excite any Anfield faithful. Journalist Graham Bailey, in an interview with Rousing the Cup, said that there's a light at the end of the tunnel in Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak. That is, of course, if the Swedish striker does not renew his contract with Newcastle. And the truth is, things are busy behind the scenes, as Liverpool appears more than ready to break the British transfer record once again this window. In fact, that record has already been broken once this season, when Liverpool paid a staggering £116 million to sign Florian Wirtz, the star from Bayer Leverkusen. A bold move, but one that reflects the ambition and stature of the Reds. Now, the club is turning its focus toward recouping some funds through the sale of Darwin Núñez, who hasn't fully convinced in a Liverpool shirt. Fabrizio Romano delivered hot news. Serie A side Naples is interested in Darwin, and Liverpool wants between 65 and 70 million euros, around 55 to 60 million pounds, just to start talks. As a result, the club is already working behind the scenes to secure a high-caliber replacement, and Isak remains one of the strongest names linked. Bailey emphasized that Liverpool is closely watching the developments in Isak's talks with Newcastle, who are trying to stretch their wage structure to keep him. But as long as that new contract remains unsigned, Liverpool sees a real opportunity. He said, "Isak has always been on the radar. I trust my sources, and what we're hearing is that Liverpool believes there is still a concrete chance." Of course, the offer would need to be similar to the one we made for Wirtz, maybe 120 to 130 million pounds, but it all hinges on the player rejecting the renewal. And that's not all. Renowned Italian journalist Gianluca Di Marzio also dropped a bombshell. Liverpool is not only interested in Isak, but also in Napoli's top striker Victor Osimhen. The Nigerian forward has a €75 million release clause, about £64 million, valid until mid-July. According to Di Marzio, Liverpool wants both Isak and Osimhen. Regarding Isak, he already spoke to the manager and the club at the end of the season and expressed his desire to leave. But so far, Newcastle hasn't been open to selling. Everything depends on how those talks progress. He also mentioned that Newcastle wants to keep their top players like Tonali, but Isak, by all indications, is open to new challenges, and Liverpool is ready to strike. Fans can dream. Liverpool is aiming high, and if everything goes right, we could see a brand new attacking duo forming at Anfield. Stay tuned, the coming weeks promise big emotions.
The possible signing of Mark Guehi by Liverpool has been gaining momentum and is stirring things up behind the scenes at Anfield this summer. At first, many fans saw the idea as unrealistic. After all, Guehi is one of Crystal Palace's standout performers, a regular starter for England, and carries a hefty price tag. Given his profile and the cost of prying him away from London, Guehi didn't initially seem like a viable priority for the Reds. However, recent updates have completely shifted the picture. Reports now suggest that Liverpool is getting closer to sealing a deal for the 24-year-old defender. This indicates that not only is he a serious target, but he's also become one of the key priorities for new sporting director Richard Hughes and manager Arne Slot. While the total value of the deal remains uncertain, the interest is real. At the same time, sources suggest Liverpool is not willing to pay any price. The club is negotiating strategically, looking for a fee that aligns with market value, fully aware of Guehi's quality and potential. Another important detail is that Guehi himself reportedly made it clear that he would only agree to a transfer if guaranteed consistent playing time. He doesn't want to be just another squad player. He wants to compete, play, and grow, and for that, he needs the trust of the coaching staff. Liverpool's need for defensive reinforcements is obvious. The sale of Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen has only increased the urgency. While Joe Gomez remains a valuable option, he's often used in multiple positions and not always as a central defender. Virgil van Dijk, though still crucial, is no longer at his physical peak. Slowly but surely, Liverpool must begin preparing for a smart defensive transition to maintain stability. According to journalist David Lynch, Guehi's initial concerns about playing time seem to be resolved. Sources close to the club say Liverpool has made specific promises to the player during early discussions. Lynch reports that Guehi is excited about the idea of joining Liverpool precisely because he has been assured he won't just be sitting on the bench. That's significant. Guehi is not coming just to be a luxury backup. He believes he'll have a real chance to compete for a starting role. Although he hasn't yet spoken directly with manager Arne Slot, talks are being led by the club's sporting leadership, and Guehi is already showing enthusiasm for the project laid out for him. Marc Guehi's potential arrival at Liverpool raises questions about Ibrahima Konaté's future. Although Konaté remains under contract, Guehi's expected playing time suggests the club may be rethinking roles in defense. In the long run, Guehi could become Van Dijk's main partner or even his successor. With Van Dijk, Konaté, Guehi, and Gomez, Liverpool would have strong depth, but someone will inevitably play less, and it likely won't be Guehi. His signing could signal a shift in the defensive structure, allowing more rest for Van Dijk, a possible future exit for Konaté, or better rotation throughout the season. Overall, Liverpool appears to be planning wisely for the future. So now, the question for you, Liverpool fan, is this. Do you believe Marc Guehi has what it takes to become a starter at Anfield and take on a leading role in the Reds' defense? Or do you still fully trust Konaté to maintain that position alongside Van Dijk?
Barcelona remains determined to strengthen its squad with the signing of a left winger during this transfer window. For several months, the Catalan club's main target was Colombian Luis Diaz, currently at Liverpool. The player was seen as the ideal piece to occupy the left side of the attack, thanks to his experience in top-level competitions, his versatility, as he can also play as a center forward, and his ability to make a difference in important matches. However, in recent days, Barcelona's plans have taken a turn. This happened after the agent of Nico Williams from Athletic Club offered his client to the Spanish club, sparking strong interest from the Catalan board. 6 years younger than Luis Diaz, Nico is seen as a more future-oriented investment, with high resale potential and a simpler negotiation. Since his release clause is active, Barcelona only needs to pay it to finalize the transfer, with no need for direct negotiation with Athletic. Despite the initial excitement, talks with Nico Williams have faced obstacles in recent days. Although there was already a verbal agreement regarding contract duration and salary, negotiations cooled due to a demand made by his agent that registration guarantees in the main squad be formally included in the contract. This request caused friction with the Barca board, changing the tone of the discussions and complicating the process. In this uncertain scenario, Luis Diaz's name is gaining strength again behind the scenes at Barcelona. According to Mundo Deportivo, the club is still interested in the Colombian and is closely monitoring his situation. Deco, Barcelona's sporting director, has never completely ruled out the signing of the Liverpool forward. Although older than Nico, Diaz has proven to be a ready-made player with European competition experience and tactical adaptability, making him a reliable option to strengthen the squad immediately. The biggest obstacle, however, remains Liverpool's stance. The English club has shown no willingness to negotiate Diaz, and the efforts made by the player's agent to pressure the Reds have had no effect so far. Even so, Barcelona remains alert. They are aware of Diaz's interest in wearing the Blaugrana shirt, and until Nico's contract is signed and his clause is paid, nothing is set in stone. Meanwhile, despite reports about the demands from Nico Williams' agent, sources close to the player claim that his camp remains calm about the situation and still believes the transfer to Barcelona is on the right track. Therefore, the current scenario shows that although Nico remains Barcelona's top priority to strengthen the left wing, Luis Diaz is still very much a valid and strategic option. The Catalan club, experienced in the transfer market, knows that everything can change quickly, and until negotiations with Nico are finalized, their eyes remain fixed on Anfield. Thank you very much for watching until the end. See you next time.